All right, we're now joined by Greg Biffle. Greg, if you could just tell us how you think the car is out there here at Daytona.
So far, so good. I mean, it kind of seems like, you know, the cars drive the same every time you come here, and every year that you know, the simulation guys work on this stuff, and we get better and better and better at the shop. It was amazing when it loaded off the truck, and you know, the thing didn't hit the racetrack, and you know, it was, we've made very, very little gains on the race cars. They've got them so good at the shop now. It's amazing when you come to the track that you can't find a whole lot, you know, to make them better.
All right, we'll go to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. How far along is Roush Fenway Racing with the development of the cars and with the new testing process? How much will it help having RPM and Front Row Motorsports to rely on them for additional tests?
You know, I think it will help a little bit. You know, I think every team has kind of that alliance. You know, so it's going to be pretty level playing field for everybody, Toyota and Chevy as well, because they all have, you know, outreaching teams, you know, that'll bring information or data back. But you know, we're I would say I don't think we're any further behind than any other team. You know, when you know, whereas a new car and NASCAR's struggling through, you know, making the rules the way they want and make sure everything's validated. So getting the rules kind of late and changing and some things, and then we've had a hard time, you know, getting parts, and I don't think any team's in any different boat than we are. So it's everybody's working hard to get prepared for this season.
Go to Alan, Bob, and then David.
Alan Cavanna, NASCAR.com. You're up there on the speed charts today, but in the last 2 days, the Fords haven't been as high as the Chevys or Toyotas. Is that any cause for concern 2 days into this test for Roush?
You know, I wish that we were higher on the speed chart for sure, but I don't think it is. I think our car is reasonably fast. You know, where, you know, I think we know that some of those cars up there did full qualifying runs, I mean, pushed out, completely taped off, and we didn't do that. We know we've got maybe a couple tenths of speed in that part of it, so that would move us up maybe into the top 5. So I don't think that any reason to panic at this point. I think we're pretty close.
Bob?
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Did you feel like there was anything significant in the safety meeting today?
Not really. Just, you know, you know, I like to see the windshield. I'm really happy about the windshield. That's always sort of been, you know, a concern of mine is, you know, something comes through the front of the car. I hit a piece of brake rotor at Charlotte. I think it was last year, and it sounded like a shotgun went off inside the car. It was amazing. Blew all the window braces out of the windshield, and they were hanging in the steering wheel, and I was trying to throw pieces off of my hands so before the corner came. So it was, you know, the windshield and hitting big pieces of metal or whatever could be on the racetracks. You know, that's a concern. So that's new for this year, and you know, just continue to try and make stuff better, seat belts, seat mounting and stuff.
David?
David Kerville, NASCAR.com. Greg, whenever we ask you guys about, you know, being good on plate tracks, you tell us anybody can get on one of these cars and hold the accelerator down and make a lap. But when it comes to winning, is there something that separates one driver from another on a plate track? I mean, is it innate stuff like reaction or just judgment, or I mean, what is it?
I think, you know, I think of all of the above. You know, I mean, it takes all those things, and it really, I would say it comes down to luck, but at the end of these things, you know, people are pushing and shoving, and somebody gets sideways and comes out of the gas, and your lane slows down, and you know, guys get broke up at the end. So it's just so, you know, it's so hard to predict what is going to happen. You know, and when's the right time to pass. You know, like on the final restart this race last year, I debated whether to try and pass Matt at that point, but I felt like I wanted to wait till the white flag, you know, before I wanted to make my move on the white flag, because that's the biggest thing. You don't want to make your move too soon. And so, you know, then Tony and those guys got a big run, and broke us apart. We were split up. We're all coming down the backstretch, you know, coming to the white. So it's, you just never know. You know, you could look back at that and say, oh gosh, I wish I would have went around him, you know, then. But you just don't know what's going to happen.
Claire?
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Can you talk more about what's different about the windshield? Is it a different compound?
Yeah, it's two pieces of material with something in the center. I think similar to like a passenger car windshield. It has the protective, you know, stuff in the middle of it. And typically when you layer something, it becomes stronger than a single piece anyway.
And how much do you think that what is shown in the draft today will be applicable to what we might see in the race? It's a smaller draft. What will you tell from the draft today? What are you looking to find out from it?
Well, I think that, you know, a lot of us are skeptical of how the car is going to drive because the spoiler is much shorter on the back, so we feel like the cars are going to be freer. One good thing is the temperature today, really, really warm. So this will be a pretty good test. It'll be similar to the, you know, closer to the track conditions that we'll see for the 500. You know, normally you're testing in 50-degree weather or whatever, so this will be nice that it's a little warmer. And I think we just want to see how the cars drive around, you know, other cars. So I think we know what to expect, but there may be something we're missing.
We'll finish up with Dwight here.
DwightGrumRaceState.com. Normally, you guys come in here with a clean slate. Now the car has got kind of a clean slate, and the team members have to actually work harder this year. Then could you kind of talk about all those things? What's that effect you think it is with the team and drivers?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging. You know, the one good thing we have going for us is the chassis is, you know, I'm gonna percentage, you know, 80% the same. So the chassis part of the car is quite a bit the same. In fact, this is our 500 car from last year that we have here today. So, you know, the body's different, the rear axle housing's different, the way the setup is, the axles in the car is straight, and all the new rules. So there is a lot different, but yet underneath there's a lot that's the same. But it is definitely a challenge for the guys because, you know, the cowlings are different, the hood's different. There's just so much stuff that's different that they're used to touching and feeling and working on that they got to get used to. So it is challenging for everybody. And they always keep changing stuff inside the car, you know, and getting better gauges and, you know, all the things they want us to do different. You know, now that they have more data, the engine guys, you know, want something different. And unfortunately with the data, there's a report card too, so they can see what we're doing inside there, you know, what RPM we shifted at, and, you know, they put the duct tape on the dashboard, shift 8,500, you know. So if we don't, the data tells on us.